it means that the weight is not moving, the scale is not moving, so whatever we are doing is not good enough. And that is the biggest problem with that. We need to rethink this concept and change the word weight loss plateau to a progress plateau. Hi, I'm Mawra. I'm not an influencer. I'm just here to share information and my experiences so you can choose what's best for you. So to measure whether you've actually plateaued on your progress, there are 5 check rules. The first is the scale. I know I just said that it's a shitty way of measuring your progress, but it's the most easily available way of tracking where you've been. Although the scale has its own issues, right? Like you get on the scale and you weigh 62 kg, then you drink 2 liters of water and you weigh 64 kg. So that is not an accurate parameter, but it is one of the ways to measure. The second is your pictures. Very, very important. I make all my clients take pictures every week, because what happens is that you may not notice a difference because you look at yourself in the mirror every day and you may not notice the changes here and there. But when you look at pictures from like 3 weeks, 4 weeks back, you'll actually see that there's a lot of difference in the way your body looks right now. Third is measurement. Very important. A lot of times because you're holding on to water, right? So there may be an increase on the scale, but when you actually take measurements and you see that you've lost inches. The fourth, very, 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 very important, is your energy levels and how do you feel overall. I know a lot of coaches who look at the scale and be like, oh, you know what, you've plateaued and we need to change things. No, not really. If the quality of your life is improving, if you have better energy levels throughout the day, if your mood is good, if you're in that space where you're getting more work done, there's more alertness, there's more focus, I would definitely count that as a progress. The fifth is your stress levels and sleep. I cannot tell you that how many people disregard this point when it comes to fat loss. Your stress levels and your sleep levels greatly affect not just your fat loss, muscle building, but also the overall quality of life. So if your stress levels have reduced by the time you started the program and you're sleeping much better, I would definitely count that as a progress and you're not in a plateau. So you tell me that, you know what, Mawra, I've checked all the 5 things and yeah, I am definitely stuck, dude. Like I am at a progress plateau. But why are you in a progress plateau? First thing first, you're not going to like what I'm saying, but you are probably not in a deficit. You are overestimating the amount of calories you are burning and you're underestimating the amount of calories that you're consuming. A rookie mistake. If I were to ask you to track every single thing that you are eating right now, including the licks and the bites, and like picking up that kaju katri on the table and just like having it, thinking that, you know what, nobody noticed, so probably not a part of my diet. But yeah, all that adds up. So at the end of the day, when you calculate the amount of calories that you've actually consumed and the amount of calories that you've actually burned, side note, please do not pay attention to the number when you're doing, so when you do cardio, right, you're on the treadmill or cross trainer and you see that number 1000 calories burned, shitty number, is not accurate. Please do not go by that. So you are overestimating that the amount of calories you're burning during your exercise and your NEAT, and you're underestimating that what you are eating throughout the day. So the net total is that you're not actually in a deficit. Your sleep and your stress levels. Your sleep is monumental when it comes to your overall health, your fitness, and your longevity. If you're getting a good night, if I have to choose between doing cardio and sleeping adequately, I will choose sleeping adequately. That's how important it is. And when you're not sleeping properly, right, your cortisol levels are anyway going to be up, which is also the case when your stress levels are higher, right? So that would lead to a lot of mood swings, a lot of cravings, a lot of water retention, and that will inhibit your body's fat burning abilities as well. So you need to check your sleep and stress levels. So when do you start making changes? Okay, I would say like somewhere between 2 to 3 weeks, you need to observe if your weight, your pictures, your measurement, your sleep, your stress, and your energy levels are stagnant and have not changed for 2 to 3 weeks. That is when I would likely make the changes. What changes should you be making? First thing first, you really need to track what you're eating so that you can get an idea of where you are from a calorie and macro perspective. And then you change your calorie and macro perspective to meet that. For instance, like you can drop your carbohydrates, you can increase fat, or you can drop fat. The thing here is that you need to know what works for you. A lot of people work really well in a fat adapted state, while a lot of other people, they really need that dose of carbs so to get that instant energy levels, right? So you need to make your calorie and macro adjustment. The third thing that you need to do is make exercise adjustments. Your body also adapts to the exercise that you're doing, right? For if you're just going to the gym and doing the same push pull split, or you're doing the same back bicep CST leg split, maybe change it a little. Maybe change the way you're doing the workout, right? Like add, maybe like add more time under tension, or do more of volume training. So you need to keep experimenting as to what works for you, and when you start experimenting, do that for at least 2 weeks to see changes in at least 2 to 3 of the check rules that we spoke about earlier. So that is how you get off a plateau.